Well, I met Othneil at the police academy in my capacity at the time as a panelist, looking over research papers.
She was actually one of the examiners for my final presentation.
I tried to get to the point with a lot of the presenters, but his paper was really interesting to me, and you know, I took an interest from that standpoint at first.
And so when I went up for my presentation, having seen some of the casualties before me, she was, of course, one of the persons who was always giving persons a warm time. You know, I think your presentation lacked this and lacked clarity and all that. When I got up there and I was on the floor now, I simply just told her that, listen, you know, Miss West, because, you know, that was what everybody was calling her at the time, Miss West. I just want you to sit and listen to my presentation, and if you have anything that is absolutely necessary to say at the end, then you can say it, but I won't be intimidated like everybody else.
He came across as very strong, very intelligent, and I just found that appealing.
I guess she was too stunned at the time to respond to that. But I realized that she sat very quietly. And I guess that even sparked her interest a bit more. But I began my presentation, and you know, it was good. When I finished, everybody was giving me a round of applause, and she, out of everybody who could have commented, you know, she was the first one to say, well, Mr. Blackwood, you know, I think it was a good presentation. However, I have a couple of questions, but I don't think that they can be dealt with on spot, you know. So I'll probably talk to you off here.
Vaughn, who was a participant on the course and not a Jamaican, took another interest in me. So we exchanged cards and I gave him an extra business card of mine to pass on to Othneil.
Vaughn came back to me and said, Neil, you know, she gave me her card to give you. And it sounded very strange for him to just come and say, you know, she gave me her card to give you. You know, because he actually went and spoke to her about the presentations. And I guess he had other interests as well. But he gave me her card, I put it in my wallet.
And so, long story short, you know, Vaughn passed on the card, but I wouldn't hear from him until months later.
You know, when I called her now, she was like, oh, Mr. Blackwood, Lieutenant Blackwood. And I'm like, yes, Miss West, you left your card with Vaughn for me, said that I should give you a call sometime. And she was saying, oh, yeah, Vaughn, I almost forgot. It
was surprising because I hadn't forgotten about him, but you know, some time had elapsed. I'd started to wonder if it was just, you know, that he didn't want to follow up.
And I said, okay, no problem. How does next week sound? And she was saying, next week? How about tomorrow? So
it was new for me to approach somebody in that kind of way too.
We got a chance to meet up and had some discussions, but you know, eventually, you know what they say, the rest is history.
And so it wasn't long after we met that he informed me that, you know, he was off to China of all places, on another continent, and it would be for months. So, I mean, I tried to handle it as good as I could, but it was a big question mark at that point in time.
I remember my friend Anthony came to me and he said, Party, you really look happy, man. You know, you really look happy, I'm happy for you. And I said, yeah, man, you know, just start the relationship and, you know, hopefully, with God's help, you know, it will get to that level one day. But I don't know, because I am going off to China in a couple of weeks. And I was actually in September, having met on the 15th of July. So it was just a little less than 3 months, because it was late September.
No, this is September and Neil is off to China.
Well, I can remember a very difficult period in the whole relationship, and that was when I went away to China. Because I left September and it was for 6 months. I wasn't going to return until late February. First
phone call I got was a relief because I'm like, okay, you know, after he left, you know, what will happen? Was that just a first date to nothing, or, you know, so? But he called and I was excited, and then, you know, after that it was long conversations at odd hours of the day, because we're in 2 different time zones.
But you know, as they say, sometimes these trials are what make and break any relationship. And Latoya had certain reservations.
I could honestly say that after perhaps the first 3 or so conversations, you know, I became more secure in the fact that this wasn't just somebody in a foreign place, you know, looking for someone back home to, you know, offer comfort. It was, you know, us reasoning on a real level. You know, over the time we spoke. Again, I'm not really a phone person, but I became a phone person for Othneil.
We communicated on Skype, we did the MSN, we, you know, even used cell phone, even though it was expensive, but we still made that effort to communicate. And the first time, she actually said, "I love you."
You know, after a few phone calls and the talks grew more intense, one day we're talking, well, it was night, my time, and out of nowhere came from the other end of the line, "I love you." And at first I was a little bit startled but not surprised because I felt the same way.
From what I understand, she was the one who said "I love you" first, you know, but I guess it was because we were so far away, and by the time I say something, she actually hears it a minute or so later. It was a good feeling to know that somebody was thinking about me. I mean, on that level.
I kept on getting emails and the occasional phone calls saying that, you know, boy, this girl, man, she's for me, you know, she has me, you know, shaking at times. And I was like, yeah, he used to mention how intelligent she was. Othneil is a person who likes to read, and Latoya is a person who likes to read as well. So right away I knew that they had a certain bond, right? I knew that they were definitely very compatible.
The anticipation was unbelievable, you know, after getting to know this person over the phone, you know, him coming back home, you know, would really be another step in our relationship.
I couldn't wait to come back to Jamaica because I know that I was coming back to her, and I know that the relationship had grown so much over the period, you know, and those last 2 months, you know, were the longest period ever, you know, not even when I was away at military college, you know, in a lot of stress and so. Not even then, it was so hectic, you know, but nostalgia got the best of me, trust me. And she was that link here that really brought me through. I remember one day I got a mail, I got something in the mail, and I was saying, but I'm all the way. So who could be sending me something in the mail? So eventually when I got the package and I went up to the room and opened it, and I saw a card, I saw a message which was handwritten. That's how I really knew what I wanted, what I needed. You know, when I opened those pages and skipped through, I was really getting a nice piece of home right there, you know. And when I read her message, you know, it was more than what a phone call could have done, and that was really special to me, you know. So, of course, that even made me want to just jump on the plane and head back right away.
Us who loved me, cared about me, and really had some of the qualities I was looking for in somebody I would want to spend my time with. At a point in time, I didn't know about spending the rest of my life because, you know, I didn't know that, you know, marriage would be very, very near in the future. But I definitely knew that he was a partner that I wanted.
Wondering if it's me you'll see, yeah. Then I kiss your eyes and thank God we're together. And I just wanna stay with you in this moment forever.
A lot of ups and downs, you know, mostly ups though. I really knew that there was nothing in the world that would make me more happy than to have Latoya in my life. you know, for however long it lasts, you know. But I definitely knew that I wanted to spend all of it with her. And when it came to that time, I wanted to show my commitment to her, you know, because I knew that it was at that level. I just knew it, I could feel it, you know. She actually reached out to me in every way possible, you know, and I could tell that we were ready to take that next step. And I started to think about, you know, how to do my proposal, because I wanted it to be special. You know, I wanted to go the extra mile to show her that I'm ready to go the extra mile with her.
And Othneil started to, you know, ask me questions about, you know, if we were to get married, you know, how would I feel about that and so on. I was like, okay, well, you know, I would marry you. I mean, you're having the qualities that I'm looking for and so on. But, you know, we don't have to rush. I mean, let's get to where we're comfortable. And he's like, I am comfortable. So I was like, okay. And he started to, you know, warm up at points.
To talk to the boss first, you know. I had to, you know, express my wishes to her mother. So I said, well, mommy, you know, I want to seek your blessings because I'm intent on marrying your daughter. And she said, and then she just started to cry, you know, and that meant a lot to me because, you know, she really loves her daughter, and that love has even, you know, came by extension to me, and I can see that she really loves her. And when I told her, she was very happy. You know, she was very happy for the move in which the relationship was going. And so she hugged me and she gave me her blessing and said, you know, I'm here for you always and I'm praying for you. And then I knew there and then that, you know, the rest was up to me.
I wasn't feeling well today. Feel like I was coming down with the flu and so on. So I was like, you know, I really don't want to go out this evening. But he insisted, and we went. It was a very, very good play, as I expected.
I actually went and I spoke to Glenn Titus Campbell. And I said to him that, Glenn, you know, 2 years ago I came here and I saw one of your plays, Love Games. And he was saying, really? I said, yeah, man, and it was very good, you know. And I'm here again, and this time though, I want to propose to my girlfriend. And he said, wow, my youth, you're full of style, man, you're full of style. And you know, we laughed and thing, and he said, yeah, man, we can arrange that. And then he and I went and we planned for it and thing. So, you know, Latoya, totally oblivious to what was happening. She turned up in the evening and I said, okay, babe, I'm really tired, but I hope this play is good. And we went, you know, having done all the planning already. We went and you know, everything was lovely in terms of how the play went, and she was very impressed with it, and she was saying that, oh, you know, after all I was going through today, this was the perfect cap to the day. This was perfect. Thank you, babe, and thing. And I said, well, you know, the least I could do, you know. That time I had the ring in my pocket and everything, and out of the blue, Titus came on stage and said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we always appreciate your support, and to show our appreciation, we have some gate prizes and things, you know. We're gonna do the raffle now.
Long story short, we were the winners. So I was like, I never win and I never ever win things. So how, you know, how strange is that? So called out our ticket number. I said, okay, let's check the ticket and make sure, because I don't want to embarrass myself.
So he said, would the holder of ticket 724 step forward? And I said, wait, 724? All right, here you go. You won. And she started jumping up and down, and I said, ah, you know the female thing already.
Went down to the stage, and there was a big box that we all know him as Titus. You know, he came out. Glenn Campbell, I think, is his current name. He came out with the box, and it was big and gift wrapped and everything, but the wrapping paper was kind of crushed. So I was like, what kind of prize is this?
He brought out this big old box like this. One of the guys came around from the back with it, and she looked in the box and it was empty. And she was puzzled now as to what is happening, you know. And the audience was like, look behind you, you know. And when she turned around, you know, that was me down there on my knee, you know. And I was saying, Latoya, will you marry me? And she was like, you know. And I said it about 2 other times. I said, Latoya, will you marry me? And she said, yes, yes, yes.
And I just went into a bubble where I started not hearing anything. So of course, he said, will you marry me 3 times? And I didn't answer because I couldn't hear him.
You know, and then I got up. She jumped up, you know, and hooked me up and thing. And, you know, it was such a very special moment, you know. She was really excited, and, you know, from that time till now, she has really, you know, shown that she was very excited, and she has been matriculating well in her new role. Trust me.
I don't regret not even one moment of us being together. I think that this is something that is sanctioned by God. I really believe in faith and that people are really meant for each other. I used to say that I don't believe in fairy tales, but I really do think that our stories are fairy tale in that, you know, some things they can't really plan on your own. Some things just happen, and they happen because of a higher, you know, being that puts us together and, you know, knows who needs what. And he knew that I needed somebody like Othneil. Backward. I promise to love, honor, a good home, one that we'll both be happy in, one that has God in it, because he's the one that brought us together, and I know we're going to get better from here on. I love you.
I love you more.
I told Othneil via text message. We were talking one night, texting, and you know, this is when we were
very
early out. And I said to him, by the way, I have twin girls, so run if you want now. I just felt like, I mean, that's just one of my thinking, speaking out, texting out loud moments.
Yeah, that was very strange. She wasn't sure how I would react to, you know, the fact that she had girls already. But when she told me about it, you know, I was saying to her that, you know, I knew there was something special about you. I mean, the way that she showed her care towards me and all that, I know that she had to be in practice already, you know. But eventually, I got to meet Naima and Anissa before I left. And trust me, they really warmed my heart. And right off the bat, they started calling me Uncle Neil. And they showed me so much love. Children, to begin with, are the most precious things that you can come across in life, you know. And I personally, you know, my outlook on life is that we all are confronted with our own realities from time to time. And while we should always look in the rearview mirror and be cognizant of the past, you know, we determine how the future goes. You know, and meeting you and getting to know the girls, I mean, I really don't care about the past, you know. I love the girls as if they were my own. And, you know, even when they keep pressuring you to give them a little brother or something.
As you will know, we, you know, live in a society where people are often judgmental. I'm at a point now because of you where, and the support and love of my family, especially my mother, you know, that has strengthened me, and the girls are really and always have been a blessing. And I couldn't ask for a better husband, father, anything for myself and for them than you.
Trying to make me cry.
Well, you know, wherever Frank is today in the spirit world, I know that he's happy because he came into my life, you know, at a point when I really needed him the most. And
come on.
Things happen for a reason, and you know, Frank wasn't around to really see our relationship blossom into what it is now. But I mean, I want to just especially point out now, baby, that I really appreciated that time when his last time with us, where, you know, he was in the hospital and you were on training and taking the time out, you know, with all the risks that were associated, getting into trouble possibly. For my mother, you know, who found the love of her life and, you know, had to let him go. I hope that we can help you through that, through our own love, and we will always be there for you. Even as we celebrate our wedding, I want you to look back on your own memories with Frank and, you know, just celebrate the love that you had with him.
you know, everything will be well with God in it. And what He has brought together, no man can put asunder, you know. And that is our motto, moving on in life. You know, we are constantly praying, we are constantly improving on our relationship, right? And with family, the support of our genuine friends, we will make it, and we will be an example to everyone who is looking on.
We just ask for your blessings and prayers and support, and we know that we'll make it. So looking forward to the 10th anniversary, 25th, 50th parties. And hopefully all of us will be around and, you know, be able to celebrate. So cheers to us.
Cheers to us.
You never see it coming.